What a good intro. So, I was originally gonna make a video that was like every Forsaken killer skin ever, but some news happened where all of Jason's skins are gonna get kind of reworked, and so is Jason himself. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upload these as separate ones. So it's gonna be like every Jason skin, every Cool Kid skin, every Noli skin, every 1x, like all that stuff. Maybe I'll make like a super cut at the end, but I'm gonna upload this one now. I spent a lot of time on this, so like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, kill your neighbor, just any of those things would be nice. I'm really gonna be yapping in these. I explain everything for like a lot of these, even for like things that you probably know. So like, be wary of that. If you hear me yapping about something you very obviously know like everything about, just skip ahead. I'll try to timestamp these so you could see what skin is what and what part. Okay, well, on to Jason. This is the default Jason skin. When you first play this game and become a killer, you'll be seeing this skin. I'm gonna count the default skins for Forsaken killers, as I'm gonna have to explain them in later skins anyways. Jason's design in this is taken from the popular Roblox game Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, a pretty old game made in 2015 by Homer Mafia 1. In the game, you have to do as the title says, and survive and kill killers. You can shoot them with Berettas, drop them in lava, trap them, run them over at high speeds, even roleplay, I guess. There are actually more killers from Survive and Kill the Killers, which are going to be added as actual killers later in Forsaken's lifetime. I should also mention that Jason's design in Survive and Kill the Killers is based on his design in Freddy vs. Jason, which is a movie where Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees fight to the death. This doesn't really reflect in the Forsaken skin at all though. In the movie, Jason is afraid of water, and a lot of Jason skins are also based on their designs in Survive and Kill the Killers, but I'll explain them when we get to them. Also, in Jason's intro animation, he throws his machete to open one of like the blast doors in Area 51, and while he can't do that in Forsaken, he can do that in Survive and Kill the Killers. Okay, onto an actual skin. This skin originates from a webtoon comic from 2010 by user Junkmix. If you don't know what webtoon is, it's essentially this website where people can share comics or manga that they've made. A lot of it being fanfic or related to alternate universes of existing characters. This skin is no exception, as the comic where this comes from is essentially an alternate universe where Jason Voorhees isn't evil and is actually a buff as hell camp counselor for Camp Crystal Lake.
Today, we're going to talk about why resisting pornography is a bad idea.
The purchase quote that appears when you buy this skin is also a quote from the comic. This skin gives Jason his appearance in the second Friday the 13th movie. Don't know what Friday the 13th movies are? Damn! The first two movies are pretty generic slasher flicks popular in the 80s. The first one is of a summer camp where camp counselors that watch over the children of said camp have to find out who's been killing off everyone. Turns out it's some woman who is mad at the camp counselors for ignoring their deformed child the day he drowned. The movie ends by her getting decapitated, and the counselor who decapitated her going on a boat for a victory lap or something, before Jason, which is the deformed kid who had previously drowned, rising from the water to drown the camp counselor who killed his mom. The sequel to that movie has Jason Voorhees replace his mother as the new slasher, donning his iconic bag and pickaxe to continue her legacy of killing camp counselors. As I mentioned, the first Friday movie only had Jason as a kid, the slasher in that being his mom, whereas in the second movie, it's actually Jason, which was a pretty controversial step in the movie's production. Thank God they did it though, so we can have stuff like this. The reason he has a bag on his head is because they just wanted a way to hide Jason's face, and simply couldn't think of a better way to do that. I wanted to do the milestones later, but I thought I would talk about them now as I'm already discussing the Friday movies. Jason's first milestone is based on his appearance in Friday the 13th Part 3. At the end of the second movie, which we previously talked about, Bag Jason gets hit with a machete by the final girl, presumably dying. In the third movie though, Jason clings to life, taking said machete that she just left by his side for some reason, and returning to his ways of killing camp counselors at Camp Crystal Lake. This movie where he unlocks his hockey mask, which became a series staple. I'm gonna be honest with you, this plays out exactly like the second movie. Camp counselors get killed off in funny fashions until the last man standing theme plays. The survivor wins by cleaving Jason in the skull with an axe, giving his mask a tear that will stay there for like the next movie. This skin also has Jason's face showing, which the Friday movies often like to showcase at the end of each film. The third movie has one of, if not his most iconic designs. This big oaf is probably what you think of when you think Jason. All of Jason's milestones, except for his last one, have the same quote, which references the fact that Jason hears his mom's voice throughout his killing sprees, or when he's just doing whatever, I guess. It's actually better if I talk about what this milestone used to be before I talk about what it is currently. It was originally Jason's appearance in the fourth Friday movie, titled The Final Chapter. It was supposed to be the end of the Friday movies, but his design in the fourth movie was pretty much his design in the third movie, just with the mark on his mask that the axe left, as well as slightly darker clothes. It's pretty obvious why this one was changed. In the movie, it's kind of the same as the last one, with a few notable changes, one of them being Jason actually dies in this movie. They changed this skin now though, so now it's based off his appearance in the sixth Friday the 13th movie. If you're wondering why they didn't take his appearance from the fifth Friday movie, it's because we don't talk about that movie. In the sixth movie, Jason's back. Still dead though, but he's back. In full zombie mode too. He really only comes back because Guest 1337 jams a metal pike into his corpse, accidentally resurrecting him. This movie is pretty different than the previous Friday movies, as those movies only really showed Jason Voorhees when he's confronting the main characters, whereas in part 6, he's really just the main star. A lot of the Friday movies, especially this one, are pretty funny, as Jason doesn't really do anything but kill people. Like, the main characters will be working to advance the plot, while Jason is just wandering around doing side arcs. Until the climax, of course. At the end of the movie, Jason is chained to a boulder and hung by the neck underwater at the same camp he had drowned in. Jason didn't drown in this movie though. In fact, he's very much alive underwater by the end of it. Overall, I'm really glad they changed this milestone, as previously, it just kinda sucked from a design standpoint. This skin is Jason's appearance in the 7th Friday the 13th movie, The New Blood. Being the continuation of the last milestone, this movie has an amazing Jason design, most notably the chain noose hanging from his neck, which he was previously anchored by. This movie is definitely different, having Jason face off against a telekinetic, Carrie-esque final girl named Tina. The movie starts with her accidentally killing her father by drowning him in the same lake that Jason was relaxing in. Years later, she tries to resurrect her father with her psychic powers, but she focuses on the wrong body and wakes up Jason Voorhees instead. Jason spends the bulk of this movie killing camp counselors even more, because, you know, we all needed more of that. At the end, Tina and Jason fight over a dock that leads into the lake where Jason had previously been defeated. Tina coming up triumphant, as at the moment she resurrects her father, who chains up Jason by the neck and drowns him beneath the lake. A lot of milestone 3s and 4s for like all the Forsaken Killers usually give them different music and different animations. This one is no different, giving Jason a different chase theme, which kind of just sounds like Jason Voorhees if he was breathing heavily over a DJ booth. The music was changed recently, as the old one got a section of it taken down by Roblox. The new one is kind of just the old one with ki ha 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 added over it, while also making it quicker. There's also a different kill animation for the skin, which I couldn't find an exact reference for it. I think it's just supposed to be cooler than the default. It's always more fun to see Jason beat the shit out of someone with their hands rather than with a weapon. You may notice that a lot of the cheaper skins for these killers are more based on themes rather than characters. While Nun may be a reference to the puppet combo game Nun Massacre, it is just as likely to be a reference to this Nun or this Nun. The purchase quote reflects the Nun theme even more, being the simple quote, Proverbs 14:29, which according to the Forsaken Wiki means, whoever is impatient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. You can take this however you'd like. Scenecore is an aesthetic that emerged in the early 2000s, and it's kind of hard for me to really explain what Scenecore is without just like showing you a picture of it. The best way I can describe it is colorful. Gur and Hello Kitty are pretty popular characters that are often associated with Scenecore. I can't really talk about this again much more as it really is just a theme. However, the shirt on this skin does say fuck. The purchase quote for this skin could be a reference to exes of Scenecore girls, often being described as victims, which is kind of fun. This skin references both a theme and a game, the theme being Lumberjack, while the game being Lumber Tycoon 2, a game by Roblox user Defaultio, created back in 2009. This game is pretty popular and is mainly loved for its simplicity. You just kinda chop down trees and sell logs, while watching as the game gets progressively more confusing. I never got far in it. This skin also replaces Jason's machete with the axe from Lumber Tycoon 2, while also coloring his chainsaw to mimic the one from the game as well. Weightson Jorthees is a reference to weightlifters, which is why Jason is so strong here. He has the superhero body type. His shirt has a poster from Jason Takes Manhattan. I'll talk about that movie soon when we get to the Manhattan skin. His purchase quote kind of implies that the survivors interrupted his gain stash and that's why he's killing them. I'm grasping at straws here. This is really just referencing the fact that Jason wears a hockey mask. It's kind of a lame theme. There is a scene in Jason Takes Manhattan, which I'll talk about later, where Jason sees a billboard of a hockey player, and I thought I would like share that, I guess. When I'm trying to look into this, I will say the jersey that Hockey Star is wearing is similar to the Los Angeles Kings back in 1989 when Jason Takes Manhattan came out. And his jersey has a 13 on it, referencing Friday the 13th. But if you take the Los Angeles Kings jersey and the 13 on him, this will imply that this guy in this Hockey Star uniform is Robert Lang, a former player who played during 1993 to 1996, which is the closest time period I could find to 1989 when Jason Takes Manhattan came out. So who knows, maybe Robert Lang is killing all these survivors and doing all this crazy stuff. We'll never know. This skin is just another theme based on old Roblox birthdays. He has like the classic Roblox birthday cake on their machete. This could be a reference to something else. I think this is just party theme, but if you know what this is, please comment it, because from what I've gleaned from this just seems to be another theme skin. So, there it goes. Okay, back to the Friday the 13th movies. This one gives Jason his appearance from the 8th Friday movie, Jason Takes Manhattan. While this movie may seem really fun and goofy, it's actually just one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. Jason spends most of this movie on a boat, with the ending portion of it taking place in what's supposed to be New York, when it really just seems like Gotham City or something. The movie starts with Jason somehow getting on a cruise ship. I can't remember this movie much because I slept through some of it, and he just kind of spends the movie on that cruise ship. This film also has the controversy of establishing Jason's teleportation, which may be why Jason's default victory animation is like this. The climax of the movie shows Jason in Times Square, which is admittedly pretty cool, but then the main characters go into the sewers that for some reason has toxic waste that flows through it every night. The movie ends with this god-awful scene where Jason is maskless. The movie just kind of ends there, I guess. This movie sucks, I really don't want to talk about it anymore. But yeah, that's the last of the Jason skins that reference the movies. Okay, well I was wrong about that last statement, kind of. Milestone 4 is an original design by Tom Savini, the special effects artist for the first 4 Friday movies. This design is kind of based on the 8th Friday the 13th movie, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, and in it, Jason goes to hell. He's not really seen at any point besides from the beginning, he just spends the duration of the movie possessing people. Tom Savini then took the idea of Jason in hell and designed a Jason that escaped hell, turning him into a fiery hellspawn with a pitchfork. This was a skin in the Friday the 13th game, simply named Savini Jason, which is what he's most referred to now. This milestone has the same animations and chase theme as Milestone 3. The lore behind this skin is a little weird. This skin is partially based off Slenderman: The Arrival. The game is a first-person survival game. It's pretty long and Slenderman is only in a portion of it. But first, Slenderman's thing is he can turn people into proxies, which is essentially servants of Slenderman who do his bidding and stuff, mainly just killing people. Slenderman was pretty big in the 2000s, mainly in the creepypasta field, so you couldn't really be a creepypasta fan in that era without seeing Slenderman proxy art. I mean, a lot of people associate Jeff the Killer as a proxy of Slenderman. Slenderman is also known from the game Slender the 8 Pages, another first-person survival game that's pretty dated, and was basically the Five Nights at Freddy's before Five Nights at Freddy's. Anyways, in Slender the 8 Pages, you play as Kate, who is collecting the 8 pages. And Slenderman: The Arrival is a sequel to Slender the 8 Pages. And in Slender the Arrival, you play as Lauren, someone who is also collecting the 8 pages. In Arrival, you eventually have to survive against Kate, as in between the 2 games, she turned into a Slenderman proxy, who looks a lot like someone I mentioned before. I don't really need to explain more about Slender the Arrival. I really only needed to explain Kate, as apparently the origin to the skin is kind of unknown. It's from a game that actually combined Kate from The Arrival and Jason from Friday the 13th into like a weird hybrid. I wish I could show references to that, but I don't have any, as the person who stated that never showed gameplay of the game or anything really. I'd imagine it's just a granny clone or something. This skin has 2 references attached to it, first being the fact that Jason's hitboxes are often memed on for being too big. In fact, Jason is kinda hitting survivors with the wind he creates just from slashing forward. The devs saw these memes and decided to implement it into the game with this skin, giving Jason a way longer machete while also changing his appearance to mimic Sephiroth, the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII. Sephiroth is known for having a sword named Masamune, which is cartoonishly long. This and the next skin are going to be pretty hard to explain the backstories of, as Final Fantasy VII has pretty long lore, especially the amount of remakes there are. Just think of Sephiroth as the big bad of FF7. This skin also changes Jason's chase theme to be a remix of One Winged Angel, which is a song that's heard during the second phase of Sephiroth's boss battle. This skin is based off the Butcher from Emesis Blue, a source film animation directed by Chad Payne. which uses TF2 models for a lot of its cast. TF2 is a team deathmatch hero shooter, and MS's Blue is a feature-length movie that takes place in the TF2 lore, albeit darker and more gritty than its source material. This movie was pretty confusing to me, but I'm still going to try my best to explain Butcher's role in it. The movie has a lot of moving parts in it, but the Butcher is essentially a stalker-type villain introduced near the beginning of the movie, jump-scaring Jeremy, aka the Scout. The Butcher is also the Pyro from TF2, a masked mercenary who uses a flamethrower to burn the enemy team alive. This skin released alongside Ludwig, a skin for 2-time that gives him the appearance of one of the main characters. The power dynamic here is a little weird, as this movie's a little hard to understand and takes multiple viewings to really get it. I recommend watching the movie yourself as it's free on YouTube, or just watching someone explain it in its entirety, as I can't really give this the explanation it deserves without sounding like a psycho. This skin gives Jason the appearance of Leatherface, the most iconic antagonist in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. In the first movie, directed by Toby Hopper and released in 1974, which I'm gonna assume this design is based on because nobody really talks about the sequels. A group of friends are going on a road trip before they get kidnapped by a deranged group of rednecks, the Sawyers, and are brought into their house of horrors. There they meet Bubba Sawyer, aka Leatherface, who's a mentally unstable cannibal like the rest of his family. Leatherface is essentially the hound of the family, just kind of following orders the family gives him. The movie ends with the final girl escaping and Leatherface throwing a tantrum with his chainsaw. Something about wearing the face of your victim really struck a chord with everyone who watched this movie, making Leatherface a pretty popular horror icon, even in the gaming space. He's in Mortal Kombat, Dead by Daylight. He even has his own game simply titled The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Most importantly though, he is in Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, which is where his design in Forsaken stems from. His design in Survive and Kill the Killers is pretty weird. He has the beautiful hair for beautiful people for some reason, and his ribs are exposed, implying he can just survive that. One last thing before I go on to the next skin. This Leatherface skin replaces Jason's machete with a hammer, while keeping his chainsaw of course, making the skin a little more accurate when it comes to weapons, as Jason Voorhees never really used a chainsaw in any official media. This one is a little weird, as I honestly just don't really care for this skin, so my explanation is probably gonna be a little tiresome, because I just didn't want to research this much. So I'm mainly just gonna be shooting from the hip here. Alfred Drevis originates from the Mad Father series, and spoiler alert, he's the bad guy. The game kinda plays like an RPG Maker game kinda. I don't think it's an RPG Maker game though. Anyways, Alfred seems to be like a twist villain kind of character, I guess. Even though the series is called Mad Father. I don't know, Corey Kenshin made this video in like 1994, so I'm just like guessing here. He's the father of Aya, who is the protagonist, and Alfred wants to turn her into a doll, like fucking William Afton, I guess. This skin also has like voice lines of Alfred saying Aya, which I could only assume played in some form of chase in the Mad Father series. The model of Alfred Drevis, though, appears in a Roblox game titled The Horror Mansion, which seems to just be a Survive the Killers in Area 51 type game without the Area 51 aspect.
This is it. Where's all the butter?
H2O Delirious is a pretty popular gaming YouTuber. He plays a lot of Gary's Mod and GTA 5 with other content creators, mainly Vanoss Gaming and other YouTubers in that friend group. His avatar, both in GTA and Gmod, have a hockey mask obscuring their face, so he's often referenced with Jason Voorhees due to that similarity. He's even an Easter egg in the official Friday the 13th game, and also he has a mask in Dead by Daylight. This skin also has a lot of voice lines taken from videos Delirious is in, and the wiki lists every reference to those videos.
No. No. Hey, Vanoss, when you sneeze, do you go, ahoo? Why? Why are everybody fucking killing me?
Fight!
Oh, you wanna go? You wanna go? You wanna go? You wanna go, Pinkin? Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Go back to the North Pole! Go back to the North Pole! What are you doing?
I got the microwave.
What kind of lean is that?
His avatar also has clown makeup beneath the mask, and if you look under his mask in Forsaken, you can actually see the Roblox clown face behind it, which is a pretty neat detail. This is based on Jason's appearance in the Friday the 13th game, not the asymmetrical one, the one from the NES released in 1989, and developed by Atlas. It kinda just seems like a weird hybrid of Castlevania and Punch-Out!, where you play as the smallest person ever and go around camp looking for weapons. There are also weird zombie people that rise from the ground, as well as other survivors you can switch to. The gameplay mainly just revolves around you going cabin to cabin at Camp Crystal Lake, looking for items and waiting for Jason to come and attack you. You can attack Jason by throwing different weapons you found at him, and you can even defeat him if you deal enough damage to him. This skin reduces Jason's frames, which is very nice, while also giving him a different chase music, which sounds very similar to when you confront Jason in the original game. This skin replaces Jason Voorhees with the main antagonist in the Halloween franchise, Michel Myers. The first Halloween was directed by John Carpenter in 1978. In it, Michel Myers just stalks Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Laurie Strode, for the bulk of the movie. The climax of the movie has Laurie finally being forced to confront her stalker. It leads to Laurie stabbing Michael in the eye and eventually getting shot down a 2-story building. He survived though, and they made a sequel in 1981 where Michael goes after Laurie again. After the first movie, the sequels kind of cement Michael as an otherworldly entity, simply being an incarnation of evil. This Forsaken skin is designed off the 2018 remake of Halloween though, and gave Michael a more dirty look compared to his clean one in the first movie. The remake is supposed to be a sequel to the first movie released in 1978, while also retconning the actual sequel movie. It's a little weird, but what matters now is he is Forsaken. This skin used to look different. Instead of having hyper-realistic Michel Myers mask on his head, it used to just be some random white mask. It wasn't supposed to actually be Michel Myers, instead it was based on a character in the Roblox shop named Michel Myers, and it looked like that. I am really glad they changed this though. Even though this skin is cheaper than the actual Michel Myers, I thought I would cover that one first to avoid having to explain Halloween for Michel Myers. This is based off Michel Myers' earliest appearance in Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, which is why it looks so damn goofy. I've already explained Halloween and Survive and Kill the Killers, so there really isn't much to say here. I do want to say this skin's outfit is different than theirs in Survive and Kill the Killers. In Forsaken, it's green and black. It also has a name tag, which is pretty impossible to read, but I just want to assume it says Michel. This skin originates from a music video by Neon Wolf titled Don't Touch My Pizza, which is animated over a song by user ZombieCare on SoundCloud. When I saw this video, while I was typing my script, I kinda just assumed this came out 10 years ago. It really just seemed like one of the many old videos we had to trudge through on a day-to-day basis back in 2012. But this video actually just came out in 2024, a year before I recorded this video. This skin has a lot of care put into it. It gives Jason a new chase theme, an intro animation, and a win animation, both perfectly encapsulating the music video. I think the reason for the amount of effort put into this is the fact that Neon Wolf, the creator of the animation, collaborating with Forsaken to make this skin, which is always nice to see. The chase theme is a remix of the Kevin MacLeod song Pixel Peeker Polka. Also, I'm sure you've heard some of Kevin MacLeod's other songs. I'll play some now as they're all royalty free. The name of the skin is also Kevin as an homage to Kevin MacLeod. The skin used to look more neon and textureless. I don't really know why they changed this, as personally I think the old one looks better, but I'm not a Forsaken dev, so I'm sure there was something conflicting with the texture. This is an original creation that came out alongside a Guest 1337 skin that followed the same theme. I don't really have too much to write about this, so when I'm writing my notes here, I just put the theme to this skin is EP Beeper. You can look inside the head for some reason. The lore of this skin seems to just be Guest 1337 has a nightmare, and this is that nightmare. There's a lot of cosplayers for Forsaken on Roblox. Mainly people cosplay as 2-Time or 1X. But if you want to cosplay as 2-Time, you're gonna need the scene hair, which is the hair that 2-Time uses. The scene hair though is currently off sale, you can't get it anymore, meaning the only way people could get it is through duplicates or UGC, which is like, they usually get taken down after like a week or two, unless you'll get a scene hair that's like colored differently to try and differentiate itself from the actual scene hair. But if people just get the scene hair that is a complete duplicate, then it will get removed from their avatar. And when it gets removed from their avatar, 2-Time is just bald time at that point, which is actually the cheapest skin for 2-Time, I think. In Forsaken lore, Barber Jason is the one who's making all these 2-Times bald, which is kind of fun. His machete is replaced with a giant pair of scissors, but whenever he hits someone, he gives them a random haircut. I think in this gameplay video that I recorded for this video, I give someone an afro before dunking on them. This skin's pretty awesome. I'll showcase some more of the haircuts here, just cause I want you to see the full variety of cuts you can get from Barber Jason. Barber Jason used to be bigger than regular Jason for some reason, therefore making his hitboxes larger. They did nerf him though, to like make him smaller, but I don't really know why he was bigger in the first place. It was kind of fun. I wish they kept it and just made him even taller than he was previously and just make him really unfair to play against. This skin gives Jason the appearance of the cannibal in Yeezy in the music video Butcher Vanity. The song is by Vain Lily and the lyrics are of this girl going pro-cannibalism. It really would have fit better if this was a skin for Leatherface, as I don't think Jason has ever eaten ever. Things have come out of his mouth though, like this. This skin has a custom chase theme, which is a remixed instrumental version of Butcher Vanity, as well as a custom Last Man Standing theme, which is essentially the last phase of the chase theme with lyrics. This skin has 3 different versions, and I like the current one the most, but I'll put them all on screen now anyways. Funny thing about this skin is that when it came out, the Last Man Standing theme had a swear in it, so the Forsaken team had to shut down the servers for a bit to avoid Roblox killing them. This is Jason's most expensive skin, not counting that one, and in turn, it has a lot of love and care put into it compared to other skins. This skin gives Jason his appearance in Combat Initiation, a fairly popular game that turns old Roblox into an Ultra Kill-esque, wave-based roguelike. The gameplay for Combat Initiation gets pretty insane, and we're even getting a full-on Combat Initiation killer soon. In Combat Initiation, Jason is the first boss of the first campaign, and he usually just gets washed no matter how bad you are at the game. I don't really know the origin to his appearance in that game specifically, I just know he has a Void Star t-shirt, which was published by Roblox in 2007. The skin also changes Jason's raging pace to give him the raged effect, which Jason gets in the second phase of the Combat Initiation boss battle. He also has a unique chase theme that uses an Ultra Kill sound font. Okay, these are the special skins. So you can only get these by doing a specific thing, be it an achievement, a challenge, a game pass, or like just you can only get them at a certain time of year. This skin was only available during Easter and a month after it. It replaces Jason Voorhees with the Easter Ripper from Murder House, a survival horror game by Public Combo released in 2020. The game follows a news crew breaking into a serial killer's house to get a story, which, like, anyone would do naturally. I mean, come on. The game has PS1 style graphics, yet is still pretty scary. The Easter Ripper in this game does some of the most deplorable things you could imagine, specifically towards children. He may not be the coolest fellow, believe it or not. Your character essentially has to go on an egg hunt to find out who the Easter Ripper is, and I'm not gonna go into any more detail about this specific skin, as I really recommend you play Murder House or just like watch someone play it.
He left the door open? Oh gosh. Okay.
This was released for April Fools and remained in store for 20 days. This skin gives Jason the appearance of Germa985, a Twitch streamer who records himself playing several random games. One day he's playing Elden Ring and the next he's playing Fart Simulator. You might recognize Germa from this image, and if not that image, then this image. He's often used in memes, especially if it's to display him as a psychopath. Germa kind of just accidentally makes himself off as a psycho, with clips of him saying weird things being used in memes or in quotes. Some quotes even getting in game, as like the H2O Delirious skin, this skin gives Jason voice lines for a lot of his moves.
Did I eat the other passengers? Of course not. What do you think, I'm insane? You think there's something wrong with me? Nobody said that. Nobody said that. What do you mean nobody? Life is pain! I hate my... Life is pain! I hate... We fucking die! Alright, well, he's dead.
Another similarity to Delirious is that Germa has the Roblox clown face beneath his mask, which is a reference to this video.
Is it like a, is it like a currency thing, or I mean, what is it? I'm not sure. I mean, is it like some kind of currency thing? I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Is it some kind of currency thing? You know, who knows?
Last thing to note about this skin is that Germa's shirt, instead of saying Red Sox like the baseball team, it reads Red Zox. This is a clear reference to the now infamous stream where Germa jerked off in front of his audience for views. It was disgusting and left people who weren't even watching the stream with a fairly bad taste in their mouth. You can only get this skin by purchasing the VIP Game Pass. It gives Jason a dripped out look and gives him gold accessories. This skin has two major references, one being Among Us, which is an asymmetrical who's the killer kind of game, which has a lot of memes attached to it, one of them being this image, which VIP Jason steals the shoes from. The second reference being this image of Goku wearing a Supreme shirt and a stick jacket. Goku is from the Dragon Ball anime, and there used to be a trend where people would drip out anime characters. This is the most popular one, but I'll show some more examples here. This skin has a custom chase theme as well, and also having Milestone 3's kill animation. His chase theme has both Among Us and Drip Goku references in it. You could only get this skin by doing this pretty specific achievement. You could knock it out pretty easily if you have a friend you can do it with. It originates from Minecraft Story Mode. Now, I know you know what Minecraft is, and you might know what Minecraft Story Mode is, but anyways, it's just a Telltale game where you could choose your path through dialogue and all that fun stuff. The game kind of sucked, but it did have a sick monster design in it though. After you killed that monster and the story of Minecraft Story Mode concluded, Telltale wanted to do more with the game, so they made another chapter after that, where your character and a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers get stuck in a murder mystery game. The story revolves around your character being a detective, finding out which character was the killer. The killer is like hiding in a white pumpkin mask and was voiced by fucking Ghostface. You could hear those voice lines when you play as this skin.
I don't know what you're playing at, but I'm bored with it.
Now, I'm gonna give you some options on who the killer could be, and you guess who it was. So, spoilers if you want to play this game, I guess. Now, here's the options. Stampy Cat with 10 million subscribers, LD Shadow Lady with 7 million subscribers, Captain Sparkles with 11 million subscribers, Stacy Plays with 2 million subscribers, Dan TDM with 20 million subscribers, or Cassie, an original character who's not a real person, only showing up in this chapter. Now, who could the murderer be? Could it be Dan TDM, and he just wanted to come out as a murderer in this game? Or could it be the only one without a reputation to ruin? I don't know, this just made me mad because this lineup made it pretty obvious who the killer was when I played this. The skin is pretty cool though, I like it. It gives him a custom gashing wound animation due to the skin knobbing chainsaw. I don't know, it's a good skin, I just wanted to yap about Minecraft Story Mode. Okay, that's the last Jason skin. Those kind of a lot here. This killer has the most skins, and I hope they all don't get removed. So let's just hope, I guess. I don't think I'll update this. I think this will just be here. Okay, if you like this video, like, subscribe, all that stuff, or view it multiple times on different alt accounts, that'd help a lot. First and foremost, I want to thank the Forsaken Wiki for this, because I actually could not have made this video without the people on those. I stole so much stuff from them. I'll try to link as many of the people who work on the unofficial wiki, in the description, but this video would not have been made without them, so thank you guys at the Forsaken Wiki if you got this far. And second of all, I want to thank Dexnox. He helped me record a lot of these things by lending me his beautiful mic, while also making some music that I could use for background audio. He didn't make it specifically for this video, but I did steal it, and he did make it, so, thank you. I'll link some other artists that I use for background music. Most of it is just Dexnox and Limino, but I did scavenge a little for some other ones. I'll link those in the description. And I want to thank StarClone Gaming for helping me with some gameplay parts in this, and also giving me some music I could use. He didn't make the music, unlike Dexnox, but he handed it to me on a silver platter. You can find gameplay of me with those two in our Kugler channel. I'll put a clip here, and that clip will definitely make you want to watch Kugler's videos, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
We get the Bo Peep secret skin, we can play as Bo Peep.
Fuck you.
The best character.
You get to.
That was how JFK was assassinated.
If you. Because fuck you.
By Buzz.
Okay, besides from those two, I want to thank Spinell Bluford for helping me compile images for this. I don't know if I'll ever do survivor skins. I might just do killer skins. So, yeah.